let's go over to the Central. Matt, do you have a wild card team coming out of the Central?
No, I don't have a wild card team. Wait, no, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. The St. Louis Cardinals are my wild card team coming out of the Central. Excuse me, the St. Louis Cardinals.
No, and who do you have winning the division?
Cincinnati Reds for sure.
Oh, Cincy, I like it. I like when people go outside the box. That's my jam. All right, tell me about the Reds. I like when people go outside the box.
Man, listen, we saw them last year come out here and really light it up. Jesse Winkler has his intentional talk issue that he likes to go on about. They're going on in Cincinnati about all this news with him running his mouth about the team. I don't know what the issue is going to be there. What I'm concerned about is I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati. As far as their pitching is concerned, who are they working with? Trevor Bauer, of course. They got Mike Moustakas on third base. Castillo is pitching for them. Michael Lorenzen, we know about his links to the late greats with the Yankees and stuff like that. They got Sonny Gray up there. I don't know what he's going to do. But I like them, man. Jakowski in center field, Shebler, Galvis at shortstop. They've got the pieces. They don't have too much competition in that division.
Well, I didn't pick them to go to the playoffs, but they do have some talent. You talked about Bauer. They have their ace is Luis Castillo. He's better than Bauer. Sonny Gray had a really good year last year. From the minute he got out of New York, he exploded. Joey Votto's solid. Mike Moustakas is actually going to be starting at second base. They got Freddie Galvis at short. Eddie Suarez is starting at third. They picked up Nick Castellanos, who does nothing but hit bombs, to play in right field. Their new starting center fielder is Akiyama, who came over from Japan. And they got Jesse Winkler in left. They can hit. They're improved in the starting rotation. And if Iglesias, Garrett, and Lorenzen and hold up in the pen with Stevenson and Pedro Stroop rebounds after losing the closing job with the Cubs last year, if he comes back strong, Cincinnati could be strong. I don't personally have him in the playoffs only because I need to use my other wild card spot in the NL East, but I could see where you're coming from. So you have St. Louis at Cincy. Mac, who's winning the Central? Do you have a wild card team in the Central, Mac?
No, I don't.
Who's winning the division?
I'm with Matt. I think Cincy does it. I mean, they look like the best overall team in that league with pitching, hitting. Their bullpen is solid. I mean, their rotation could be one of the best young rotations in the league. I mean, so I really think Cincinnati. I don't know if it's a shock or not, but I really think they win the Central.
All right, This was tough for me because I knew that whoever I didn't pick wasn't going to go to the playoffs, and I was on the fence between the Cubs, the Reds, the Cubs, the Reds, the Cubs, the Reds. I'm still on the fence. I don't even feel comfortable about this pick. I feel like I should take the Reds. I don't even really know who I want to take. I couldn't decide all day yesterday. Reds, Cubs, Reds, Cubs. So I'm going to ride the wave. Matt made my decision for me because I didn't even have a decision up to right now because I didn't know who to take. I'm going to go with the Reds because he made me look at the Reds roster and now I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, that's really good. So I'm going to go with the Reds. I mean, I know the Cubs have Bryant, Baez, Rizzo, Contreras, Schwarber. The Cubs can hit. I mean, I'm just telling you, the Cubs can hit. But I'm not sold on Yu Darvish or John Lester anymore. Kyle Hendricks is good, but that's about it. Craig Kimbrell gives me nightmares in the playoffs. I still don't know how Boston held on to win that World Series when he was walking everybody in their right mind and didn't get people out till the bases were loaded. I'll go with the Reds too. So we'll call it a clean sweep. I think Luis Castillo after this year is going to be known as one of the best pitchers in baseball for the Reds. Look out for Luis Castillo. So right now, Mac and I have 3 playoff teams each, 1 wild card, and you have 3 playoffs. So that means we're going to the NL East. That means everybody's going to have a division winner and a wild card, but we're going to spend the last 15 minutes breaking down the division. Mac, we'll start with you. I put the Nationals in 4th place, the defending champions. I mean, I know people are going to say, well, they have arguably the best top 3 rotation in baseball, and that's true. They have Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin, who is as good as anybody else in the division. I mean, as good as anyone else in the league, top 3. But here's the thing. Scherzer was great last year, but a little bit down. Is he on the downswing now? You know what I mean? I mean, he is turning. He's in the back half of the 30s now. Is he falling off a little bit? Strasburg is good. Corbin is good. I get it. But I don't know if they have enough hitting. I mean, they lost Rendon. They're going to be putting extra pressure on Juan Soto, extra pressure on Trey Turner. But outside of those guys, what do they have? I mean, they picked up Eric Thames, but he strikes out a lot. He's basically one of those I hit a home run or I make out guy. Jan Gomes is in. Carter Kieboom, we don't know how he's going to do. Starling Castro basically played himself out of Miami. And now they got to hope that he gets back to what he used to be. Victor Robles is a stud outfielder, but can he hit? With a lot of question marks. And the Nationals have the same issue they had last year. What's their bullpen going to be like? Will Harris came over, but that's about it. I mean, you're looking at recycling Hudson. Is Hudson, with relief pitchers, 1 year they're good, 1 year they're not, especially when they're not superstar relief pitchers. So I had Washington in fourth. Mac, who you got in fourth?
This may surprise a lot of people. I got the Braves in fourth. There's all this talk about them, how great they're going to be. I'm telling you, I think that they're young. They got potential. I mean, they got a couple really good signings, but the rotation still needs a lot of work, man. I mean, I don't care how great a team you have offensively, as we've seen with the Yankees and that. If that rotation isn't up to par, and with the Phillies there, the Mets there, and the Nationals there, it has a lot to do with the division. The Braves might be able to win a couple divisions in the AL or that, but this division is so competitive.
They're very suspect after Soraka in the story.
And I know Matt even laughed about this, but I'm telling you, all this buildup about the Braves, how they're going to win the East, I just don't believe it yet. This division is way too strong. I don't think they'll have. They may not even have a losing record. So I mean, I just that's where I have them right this year. So
all right, fair enough. Matt, who you have in fourth place?
Fourth place in the NL East, I've got the Philadelphia Phillies, right ahead of Miami, right under our third place team. And the reason I say that
the Phillies, what do you not like to have them in fourth place?
Well, I was actually tossing them and the Mets back and forth for fourth place, right? But I look at the Phillies, and I still kind of regret not putting them ahead of the Mets because you look at Real Muto, you look at Bethancourt, you look at Marchand, like these guys are studs. Like they've got some. Kobe Fitch can play. They got Didi Gregorius now from the Yankees. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring Didi back. So I do like their team. It's not that I don't like things about them. What I don't like, if you want to talk, is their starters. Jake Arrieta, he's up there. He's 35 years old now, man. Come on. That's not your starting pitcher. He's not, or even a reliever anymore. Zach Wheeler's really good. And Aaron Nola's really good. But outside of those guys, outside of Nola and Wheeler, they don't really have anything going for them. They're relievers. You're looking at Trevor Kelly, Lovera, and McLean, I think. They just don't have anything that's going to be able to rock at the top side of that division. They need to try and trade Real Muto
to put them in fourth. Somebody's got to finish in fourth. I can tell. I
just think that's how it's going to fall out. I think that's just the way it's going to fall down.
So you could slide over and go right into three because I assume you have the Mets in three, which is you're the only person. So go ahead, give us your breakdown on why the Mets are not going to the playoffs in your mind.
Well, I just think with all the disarray with that team, and I don't even believe the Mets might not be the third best team in that division. I was being generous to them, because there's really nothing to indicate that they're better than Atlanta or Washington at that point. And maybe even the Phillies.
They had the best record in baseball in the second half last year, and the entire team's back.
I mean, that counts for what? At what point? Yeah, they made a little run push at the end, man. But we know that they can't.
It was over 5.
And they blew game after game after game after game, and there's nothing to show that that's going to change.
So you're not convinced basically the bullpen's fixed is basically the miss.
That's really what it boils down to for them at the end of the day is their bullpen is not fixed. All right, you're going to swing your bat. There's no are you going to tell me that you're for sure going to get all the production you got last year out of a guy like Pete Alonso? Maybe he's the type of guy that can do it every year. Wilson Ramos, is he going to turn it up? Or Ahmed Rosario, are these guys going to show up and perform? Because remember, with the Mets, the thing about it is, if one guy goes down, they're done for. They have no depth whatsoever. They don't have anybody to bring up. They don't have anything like that. So, no, I don't think they're even going to be in the playoffs next year.
All right, Mac. Who do you have in third place?
I had got the Phillies ahead of the Braves. I like their offense. They got a strong infield. Their offense with Harper, the corners they have a question with. The rotation is solid with Noah and Wheeler. The bullpen has a little ifs in there and little question marks, but I'll take a good starting rotation over a iffy starting rotation. So I have the Phillies edging out the Braves, very close, but I think they'll finish in third this year.
I took the Phillies in third also. Aaron Nola's a stud. Wheeler's really good. Hoskins, Real Muto can hit. Harper can hit. McCutchen is kind of on the downside. I like Didi, but I got to see. He didn't put up the Yankee-type numbers. I got to see that. Not sold on their center field, second base, or third baseman, Segura, Kingery, or Halsey in center. I'm with you. I got him in third place. That leads us to our top two now. According to, we all have a wild card team coming out of the East, obviously. Mac, who's your wild card team?
I think it's the Mets. I mean,
I agree.
They got one of the top 5-6 rotations in the league. I think their bullpen was terrible last year. The year before, those relief pitchers were studs. They got a great infield. They're all solid offense. So I think the only problem that I see with the Mets is something like every team. Something happens to one of their starting rotation. And if that bullpen doesn't get it together, you may drop further down. But I think I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and saying that the Mets bullpen will be better this year, and that'll give them the wild card this year.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you. I have them in second. I'm not going to really add anything to it because I talk about the Mets quite a bit on the show because it's a New York show, so everybody knows what I think of the team. I have them in second, taking the wild card also. So we'll just go to Matt. Who's your wild card team?
The Atlanta Braves.
The Atlanta Braves as well. Okay, so so give us a little rundown after Soraka about the Braves.
Well, you got Folty down there. The Braves have a good little rotation that came along last year, and the relievers were pretty good. So you want to look at after you got Felix Hernandez out there, but I don't know if he's ready. I don't even know if he's going to be able to play or if he's eligible at this point. You got Kyle Wright and Mike Folty.
Felix Hernandez is sitting out. COVID-19. So not going to play.
Mike Foltynewicz. They call him Folty.
Yeah, Folty. Yeah.
Yes, Folty. He's so with him, Bryce Wilson, Kyle Wright, and Soroka. Soroka's a stud. He's going to give you everything you need all year long. And then they got Sean Newcomb, who's a lefty, and Max Fried, another lefty who can really sling the ball. He's 27 years old. He's really coming into himself. ERA was a little high last year, but he had a little rough. He didn't play much. So the Braves are definitely my. I was actually going to have them as the division winner, but I had to keep it moving.
All right, so we only got 3 minutes here. So just give me division winner, which is obviously your final playoff team, and really quick a win total. Matt, division winner.
Washington, 33 wins.
33. Mac with division winner.
National, 38 games.
I got the Braves winning the division with 36. So, because I think that division is going to be very tight. I think you're going to be like 36, 35, 33, 32. In fact, I have 4 teams finishing 500 or better in that division.
The Braves got the bats, man.
Braves
got the bats.
Yeah. Freeman might miss opening day, so maybe that'll make it easier on the Mets to take care of the Braves. So
he was at BP yesterday. There's a video of him batting practice yesterday, so he will probably be there.
All right, so you guys I had the White Sox, Mac had the Twins, and you had the Astros. Who are they facing in the World Series? Mac, who is facing the Twins in the World Series?
I don't want to go with the Dodgers because everybody's picking the Dodgers. I want to give it to a team that I think has a real good shot, and I'm surprised everybody didn't take the Reds.
Okay, and who wins that series? Minnesota or the Reds? Who's the champ?
I have to go with Minnesota.
Matt, you had Houston. Who they playing?
It's definitely going to be the Dodgers.
Okay.
I mean, I hate to take the easy chalk pick, but it's definitely going to be the Dodgers.
And who's winning the World Series?
Probably the
Dodgers.
Dodgers.
I am with him. I'm taking the White Sox versus the Dodgers, and the Dodgers finally get that World Series.